Hello, this is KWD, and in today's video, I am making a top hat design Thein Baffle dust separator. Is that a mouthful? Absolutely. Is this amazing and worth building yourself? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. The first part of this process is you have to make your circles. You'll need 3 of them in all and a ring. Other materials include a sheet of 1/16 polycarbonate, a tube of silicone, and so many tiny screws. In order to have my circles be perfectly centered, I just use the pin from my circle cutting jig. Once I trace my circle, I use the roller attachment from my Rockler glue set to apply a liberal amount of glue. Now this is not the piece of poly I end up using, but there are a couple things I did that are worth pointing out. I'll show you both my successes and my failures. And right here I make my very first mistake. I put the dust port right on the edge. Why is that a problem? Yeah, you remember how I said that one of the pieces you needed was a ring? That is the piece that is supposed to be flush with bottom, not the dust port. Unfortunately, I had already cut the window out by the time I realized that mistake. I did, however, really like the light method for tracing out where the hole is supposed to be, so I thought it would be good to include that in the video. I actually like this poly for so many more reasons than the other. For one, it's clear instead of opaque and it doesn't have a ton of scratches. And 2, it is much better quality and higher flexibility. Now you may be wondering why it's beneficial to even make a Thein baffle. Personally, I've been doing carpentry and woodworking for many years now. The more work I had, the faster my old separator would fill up. When it was too full, material would get pulled into the vacuum and in turn would clog up my filter very quickly. Clogged filter equals no suction. The Thein baffle solves this problem by letting my wet-dry vac only need to deal with the finest sawdust. I don't even need to empty it until it's full of 55 gallons of material. This is a massive time saver. Here, I tried a different method for tracing out the hole. I actually like the light method a lot better. Since the light is coming in at the same angle as the dust will be, you'll have a better chance to get a smooth entrance from the dust and not have any collection where a small lip would be. Have my vacuum hooked up. Let's try it out. And this is not with any kind of silicone or anything like that, so there's definitely gonna be air leakage. But this is just a kind of test run. I have a handful of sawdust here. So it goes on. Oh, a little swirl. You get a little swirl up here. There we go. Here's the second problem that I discovered. There was so much air volume on the inside of the unit, I lost quite a bit of suction. Decreasing the overall height of the collector would favorably increase the initial airspeed on the inside of the chamber. After I adjusted the top into its final location, all I had to do was cut off the excess and silicone all the seams. It would then be ready for its first real test run. As a ceremony for finishing this thing, I'm going to be transplanting all of the sawdust that was in my old dust separator system into my new built cyclone system. And oh, I'm looking so forward to it. It's gonna be great. All right, here's all the old dust. Quite a bit. Not a terrible huge amount, but enough. Apparently my daughter's choking on it. All right. Get it going. I also did take the bag out of the dry pack, so this is going to be the true test to see if this really works. All right. Now, how does a Thein baffle actually work? Well, the suction comes from the vacuum's hose in the top center. Since the dust comes in at an angle, centrifugal force keeps the debris on the outer walls of the collector. Eventually, weight and loss of momentum causes the wood chips to drop out of the airstream and into the drum. If you could see it working from above, it would resemble a hurricane. High wind speeds on the edge, but a calm, clean, dust-free eye in the center. Alright, the real test here. Little bit of incredibly fine dust on the outside, but no small chips on the inside. Like, that's truly amazing. I mean, there might be a small amount right there, but other than that, it's clean. I'm gonna put my filter bag back on, save my filter a little bit. We'll be good to go.